Should you apply for advance parole if you have DACA or TPS or asylum pending? Right now, I think the answer generally is no, but let me explain. So I've seen this question posted all over the place. Reddit subs, Facebook groups, even an immigration lawyer specific group that's like a secret group where immigration lawyers ask questions to other lawyers to see what the general hive mind recommends. And right now, there are several problems. Number one, it's unclear whether DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or TPS, Temporary Protected Status for certain countries, is even going to be renewed under the Trump administration. It seems pretty clear that people who have DACA will continue to have the right to renew it until there's some court decision that changes that. So people who have DACA, just make sure you renew it in a timely fashion. If you allow more than 1 year to lapse after your DACA expires, it's probably gone forever. TPS, it remains to be seen. A couple countries are up for TPS renewal. We'll see whether the Trump administration tries to deport them or puts them out of status. Either way, you can only apply for advance parole if you have one of these underlying forms of status, like DACA, TPS, or an affirmative asylum application pending with the asylum office. I would not recommend traveling internationally right now because when you try to re-enter the United States, even if your TPS application was approved, which is a big if, you might just waste your money. If it got approved and you try to come back into the United States, you might find that the customs officer just denies your entry. Advance parole is a discretionary benefit. The immigration officer doesn't really need a reason to deny your re-entry into the United States. And if they deny your re-entry, you are really out of luck, especially if you have more than 1 year of unlawful presence before you departed the United States. You might get stuck outside of the United States if you're denied your re-entry for 3, 10, or even more years. And you might not even have a legal way to ever re-enter the United States. As a side note, I also think that it might be a waste of money for a lot of people to apply for advance parole right now. I think the reasons for which advance parole will be granted are going to become more and more strict. For example, like people with DACA generally need to show that there's some sort of emergency or an elderly or dying family member or someone who recently died and you want to go visit their grave or attend their funeral or wake or whatever. Those historically have been acceptable reasons for DACA recipients to apply for advance parole. But I can see those reasons becoming more and more strict as USCIS begins to deny people. And I can also see USCIS processing times beginning to increase for the advance parole application. So I think at the very least, you're going to lose your money. At the very most, you might lose your life in the United States if you're not allowed to physically re-enter. So right now is not the time for advance parole. With that said, if you understand the risks and you were granted advance parole and there's a real emergency, like your mother is dying, and you weigh the pros and cons and you decide, you know what, all things considered, I don't think I'll be able to live with myself in the US or outside of the US if I don't go see my mother before she passes away. I get it. But just understand that the risks of not being allowed to re-enter the US are very real. And you should speak with a local immigration attorney before you physically depart to see, has that lawyer had any experiences recently with people being denied re-entry in that area? Different airports have different immigration officers. Different ports of entries have different immigration officers. Some are more liberal, some are more conservative. So it does make a difference sometimes where you actually choose to re-enter the United States. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I just wanted to make another short one addressing this topic. If you are interested in family-based immigration or citizenship or USCIS news, Trump immigration updates, subscribe to my channel. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'll be continuing doing for at least all of 2025. If you need assistance with an immigration matter, schedule a consultation directly with me. You can find my information in the video description below. You can go to my website or call my office. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time for another video.